Good evening. My name's Lisa Irvin. I'm the director of the Parkland Education Foundation. I'm joined here tonight by our foundation board president, Ron Tico.
Thanks, Lisa. It's great to be here celebrating some really deserving alumni. Tonight is a night of hope and gratitude, and we're thinking fondly of our past galas where we have been able to gather in person, and we can't wait to do that again really soon. We are thankful to be able to celebrate, even if not in person, in front of our distinguished alumni wall of honor here at the high school. And it's impressive how many alumni we have on this very wall. So many amazing accomplishments, all stemming from a great public school education here in Parkland. Our goal is to continue to give great opportunities to help our current students achieve their potential.
It really is amazing to look at all of the accomplished alumni on this wall. It really inspires you.
No, inspiration is just what we all need right now.
You're right, Ron. This past year, we saw our community face challenges unlike any others, and we discovered our strength and our ability for impact. Through challenges, you discover who you really are and what your purpose is. Our amazing Parkland Education Foundation board found ways to do things differently. For example, tonight's program. We saw our seniors face the loss of graduation and prom last year and responded by providing personalized graduation lawn signs delivered to each of our 800 seniors by Parkland teachers, administrators, and board members. It was a small gesture, but meaningful at the time. We had families who were struggling during these difficult times, so we focused on food pantries and food distribution. We also gave out thermometers and masks to families who needed them. We started the Parkland Strong campaign and a spirit wear as a way for our community to come together in unity, to realize that our greatest strength is our togetherness. We purchased and distributed headsets and microphones to our staff to allow them to better reach their students while teaching remotely. We funded $20,000 in emergency grants to help our staff and the district navigate these new times with a little more ease. One of these emergency grants was virtual lab software for our science teachers and students at the high school, a need that was very new and unique to this current year. This time has been a time of discovery, discovering who we are, what our purpose is, and what an amazing, strong, and supportive community we live in. We are grateful for the continued support we have received from our sponsors. What we have discovered is that our mission to keep the excellence that Parkland is known for has never been more important. We can't take away the challenges of this time, but we can help our community to face them and grow. This is our time to shine, and together we will continue to be Parkland Strong.
And strong we will be. And tonight, we are here to celebrate some truly distinguished Parkland graduates, their impact in their communities, and their ability to use their talents and gifts to excel is truly an inspiration to all of us. I hope you join me in welcoming them onto this very exclusive Parkland School District Distinguished Wall of Honor. It was nearly 10 years ago that we inducted our first class of alumni, and over that time, the foundation has provided close to 1,000 grants, totaling well over $1 million to innovative programs proposed by Parkland teachers and the staff. None of this would have been possible without the support of our school superintendent, Rich Snizak. He's been a tireless supporter of the foundation's efforts and a true believer in the power of education. And we're so grateful for his service to this community, and each year he has spoken at our annual event. And tonight we welcome him one final time to speak at our gala as the Parkland Superintendent, as he'll be retiring in June after many years of dedicated service to our school district and community.
As I look back to the beginning of the foundation in 2011, I'm amazed by all that has been accomplished. The Education Foundation has highlighted the fundamental fact that we live and work in a place that values a good education. The Parkland community understands that an investment made in education benefits all of us. Despite our challenges this past year, the commitment from our staff to inspire excellence from our students has been amazing. Tonight, as we honor these 5 very distinguished alumni, I'm reminded of the value of a good education. These alumni, along with the other alumni on our Wall of Honor, have made a tremendous impact on our community and many others out there. As I look back on my 37 years in public education, I've learned so many things, but most of all, I've seen that public education can change the world because those we are honoring tonight have done just that. And so much of who they have become as adults was shaped by their childhood and time in our schools. I want to take a moment to wholeheartedly thank our sponsors here in our community who have long supported the Foundation's mission to help build the dreams of children by providing our students and staff with resources that amplify and enhance Parkland School District programs. Your unwavering support of our public education program has been so noteworthy and has truly made an impact, and I'm so grateful for all of you. The Foundation could not have done what they did without your support. Our title sponsor, St. Luke's, along with Service Electric and the Alvin H. Butts Company, have been longtime supporters, and they are just a few of so many who have made contributions and believe in this important work. It's been my greatest honor to serve as Parkland Superintendent for the last 10 years. I can't wait to see what the next decade brings for all of you. I am truly grateful for all the generous support the Foundation has given to Parkland schools. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy tonight's program.
St. Luke's knows that trust is the foundation of all relationships. It's earned over time. It's the type of relationship you should have with your healthcare team. While our healthcare needs are different, one thing is constant. St. Luke's is focused on building a lasting relationship with you, earning your trust and putting your well-being first. When it comes to great healthcare, trust is essential. St. Luke's, the care you trust, now more than ever.
Hello, my name is Zoe Streeter, and today I am here with Greg Benz, friend and colleague of distinguished alumni Peter Dennitz. Thank you for joining us today. What accomplishments did he have during his career?
Well, he had a number, not only, first in the area of specific projects. As I mentioned, the project up in New Jersey is a real monument to his ability to work with diverse groups, connecting the technical and the political and the community concerns. He also had a number of, one of the most significant projects towards the end of his career was down the Philadelphia area around the 30th Street Station, which many of you may be familiar with, which has this beautiful station, old classical style station, sitting among a bunch of railroad and kind of industrial type facilities. And Peter helped lead the envisioning of a whole total redevelopment of that area to be a more lively community, office, commercial, residential, and other type of community facilities. But I think in the other area that Peter and I worked together on, were internal to our company, we had a number of professional development programs that help people really figure out a path for how they should pursue their career and advance it. And Peter was one of the real stalwarts of those programs in terms of really being sensitive to each individual's own style and needs and sort of path that they wanted to take.
What are your best memories of him?
Peter had a very a sense of humor that was could really get you going. It just was a lot of fun to have a conversation. He could really be ironic at times. But I think my favorite memory is when we were finishing grad school.
we had to prepare a thesis, and we had to defend it before a panel of professors. And that was the culmination of your career. Once you passed that, you're going to get your degree. And we had all of our thesis defense on a particular afternoon, and we'd all finished. We all were successful, and we all wanted to have a little party to celebrate. And so we were doing that. We couldn't find Peter, and we found him eventually back in his room, rewriting his thesis that was already accepted because he got some comments from the professors, and he wanted to make it better, even though it was already a done thing. I think that speaks to Peter. He was a bit of they say he was meticulous, but he was also a bit of a perfectionist in that regard, always wanting to make something better than it could be.
Thank you again for taking the time to speak with us on behalf of the late Peter Dennitz.
Hello, I'm Samantha Massad, here with Jane Dennitz-Smith, sister of distinguished alum Peter Dennitz. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today.
Well, I was the little sister who saw him passing in the halls, and he didn't want much to do with me because I was a couple years younger and he was much cooler. But I do know that he was a real uniter at the school. He had the ability to navigate all sorts of groups of people, make friends with different people that were involved in different organizations, different clubs.
Did Peter ever discuss any favorite classes or influential teachers from his days at Parkland?
I think he's an alum who took a lot of his passion that found a way to be played out at Parkland with teachers like David Deal and Audrey Matheson, who's English teacher, and who engage with the larger world and to see the world beyond Warfield.
Could you talk about your brother and his commitment to family, work, and any personal qualities that you think represent his induction to the Alumni Wall of Fame?
He was witty, he was funny, he was sardonic, he was, I think, to outside appearances, he might have seemed quiet, but he was a really good observer, and he really read people very, very well, and we all miss him deeply because of that. And as a father and as a husband, these qualities play out every minute of every day in his own children and grandchildren. This sense of always looking outward, looking at the larger world. What can I do to, what do I see, what is, and what can I dream of? And he had a magnetism that people, family and in his profession, that people were deeply drawn to. A kind of quiet charisma that made them feel like they truly mattered. And I think for Peter, for the most part, they truly did. That he wasn't looking at status or position. None of that stuff mattered to him. It was a sincere kind of engagement with the world and an interest in others. So, yeah, that legacy definitely persists.
Yeah, he sounds like a great man. Thank you so much again for
so
speaking
welcome.
Upon his behalf.
Thank you. I know he would be like, he'd say, "What? Me? Why? Why me?" He was really modest, but I also know he would be so delighted and pleased.
I'm here with distinguished alumnus Vikram Joshi. Thank you for taking the time to be with us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Well, I'm a local hotelier. Going back to when I was a kid, my family was in the hotel business, and we've developed over 30 hotels throughout Lehigh County, Bucks County, and Northampton County, and we currently have a pretty decent portfolio here in Allentown.
How did Parkland set you up for success in your career field?
I would say the challenging curriculum from day one. You kind of have to. They push you really hard from the beginning. So a lot of those habits stay with you throughout your entire life. I think that's where the benefit of attending Parkland. Parkland pays off in the long term.
Was there anybody that was a major influence here at your time?
Well, at the high school, of course, every teacher, kind of, you learn from every teacher. They push you in different ways. So I just say, I don't want to single anybody out, but I would say all the teachers were a big help. And they kind of mold students. That's what they're doing today, too.
What advice would you give to current students?
Very simple. I would say to first, career-wise, set a couple goals. And once you set a couple goals, try to make a plan to hit all those goals. And I have this personal saying which I share with everybody is shoot for the stars, land in the clouds if you have to. So if you can't hit your first target or your first goal, at least have a backup. So you don't set yourself up for any failure. So I would say that's probably the one thing, like just coaching at Parkland and helping out with different activities. You just want to don't set yourself up for failure. Always set yourself up for success.
Thank you again for taking the time to talk with us, and congratulations on your nomination once again.
My pleasure. Have a good year.
You too. I'm here with distinguished alumni, Judge Christy Morphy Marks. Thank you for joining us today. Can you tell us a little about yourself and your job?
Sure. My name is Anna Christy Morphy Marks, and I am a criminal judge. So I work here in the Lehigh County Court of Common Pleas, and I handle all types of crimes from a harassment to homicide.
What is your best memory from your days at Parkland?
We really had a lot of great opportunities at Parkland to diversify our experience, and I really, really enjoyed those field trips and meeting new people, along with connecting with my students, the group of us.
What advice would you give to current students?
Not worry, although I don't know if that's possible, but not worry as much and really take the risks.
How did Parkland set you up for success in your career field?
I think Parkland gives you a broad range of experiences to figure out who you're going to be and where you see yourself.
During your years as a prosecutor, did you ever get emotional about your cases?
You have to be able to understand and feel that emotion, put it aside, but I'm human, and if you don't have that emotion in you, I don't think you are doing your duty as in your job.
What do you wish more people understood about revenge and bullying?
Crimes that occur on the internet never go away. There's a permanent kind of trail that they leave. I call it like internet DNA, and basically it stays there permanently, and you can't ultimately erase it. And so the effects are much more long-term than people realize.
What do you believe we can do in our day-to-day lives in order to help victims we may know?
People that are targeted have voices, but their voices are very quiet. And so if somebody talks to you about an issue they're having, be their voice and speak up for them, because we need to be able to stop this behavior. And sometimes you need to be the voice of the voiceless.
Thank you so much again for taking the time to speak with us today, and congratulations on your acceptance into the Parkland Education Foundation's Distinguished Alumni.
Parkland High School TV studio has been given the opportunity to stream Parkland varsity turf and field sports. The donation of cameras in order to be able to efficiently carry out these streams were from the Parkland Education Foundation. All of the students of Parkland TV and Film are incredibly grateful for their donation and support throughout this whole learning process. Everyone working on the streams has dedicated much of their time and effort into the broadcast, and we are so excited that we are able to share our work with all of the district and allow those who can't make it to the games feel included.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. My name is John Trevetta. I go by Cowboy, which you can see in my call sign. I am an F-16 test pilot for the United States Air Force. I'm actually a full-time reservist now, but still doing the same type of flight test work that I was doing full-time with the Air Force.
So how do you feel that Parkland set you up for success in your career field?
I will definitely say that the curriculum, the difficulty of that curriculum, and the foresight that Parkland has for that curriculum and for the education they're giving their students, all of the opportunities you get from going to Parkland are outstanding. That all became very relevant when I left Parkland and went off to college. And going to the Air Force Academy, I was nervous. I didn't know if I'd be able to cut it there. Parkland did an amazing job of preparing me for that, from the educational side of it, from the relationship side of it, being able to build relationships, make friends, and do all those things that kind of help make you successful in life. I would say Parkland did an amazing job in knowing what a student needs to be successful, and then building a path for them to gain those skills that will be necessary for them to be successful. And I think Parkland does a great job at that.
So you mentioned your first time flying the fighter jet. What would you say that was like? Like, what did that feel like doing that for the first time?
The first time you're flying it, you are not thinking about how cool what you're doing is. You are, the only thought going through your mind is, oh my gosh, I hope I don't mess this up, because I really want to do this again. And if I mess this up badly enough, they're not going to let me do this again. And I can remember looking over my shoulder and seeing the missiles on the wingtip and seeing the fighter-shaped wing. And then I looked down at the ground. Again, we're going essentially straight up at this point. And I looked down at the ground, and it just looks like the ground is just falling away. And it was an image that will continue to burn itself into my mind. And to this day, 2,000 hours later in the F-16, every time I do a takeoff like that, I always make a point of looking over my shoulder and trying to relive that first feeling.
That is incredible. Thank you so much for talking with us and sharing your experiences. It was great to hear from you. And
No
congratulations on your acceptance into the Parkland Education Foundation's Distinguished Alumni.
Thank you. And thank you to Parkland and all the opportunities that Parkland gave me. Let me say thank you to all the teachers and staff and faculty for everything they do for students every day, for all the opportunities they give all their students every day. And go Trojans.
I'm pleased to introduce Distinguished Alumnus, Major Aaron Williams, graduate of Parkland 2007. I'm so excited to have the opportunity to speak to you today.
Thank you so much for having me, Zoe.
After going through Parkland yourself and looking back on your journey today, what advice would you give to current students?
I would say keep all the doors open. Don't shut the door on any opportunity until it's really fully developed. Like I said earlier, I went into high school thinking that I was going to go be an elementary school teacher, which is a great profession, and we obviously need teachers. I never imagined that as a junior in high school, my dad would force me to visit West Point and that I'd kind of fall in love with the place. And then even when I started my cadet career at West Point, I really thought that I was going to pick the best office job I could find and get out of the Army after 5 years, which is our commitment after coming to West Point. But I slowly fell in love with what the Army had to offer and a lot of the Army's culture and the opportunities that I had to help soldiers and really become a teacher in a different light, not so much in the classroom all the time, but in the field with soldiers, in garrison with soldiers, downrange with soldiers. So I was really able to fulfill that part of my career using a different medium.
You've said that you've been in the Army for around a decade now. How do you think your journey in the armed forces has molded you into who you are today?
So I think the saying is pressure makes diamonds, and the Army is the sort of place that they put you under pressure from day one. You, as the second lieutenant, are typically in a position like I just described, where you are in charge of somewhere from 25 to 50 soldiers. You kind of get a right-hand man who's your platoon sergeant, but you've got to just figure things out. You've got to learn how to connect with them. You've got to learn how to lead. And the situations range from, stateside training scenarios to deployment scenarios where there's actually lives at stake. So you're learning as, a 22, 23, 24, 25-year-old to handle that sort of pressure. And you're also learning about the people you serve with. Soldiers come kind of from all walks of life, right? And a lot of them have had a lot of hard circumstances. So you really get to connect with them and develop that empathy and find ways in which you can be a positive influence on their life and help them achieve their goals.
Thank you again to Major Aaron Williams for taking the time to speak with us today, and congratulations on your selection for the Parkland Education Foundation's Distinguished Alumni.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Extended interviews with our distinguished alumni this evening may be found on Parkland TV and Film YouTube. Please remember that our online auction, which includes an authentic antique schoolhouse bench from the original South Whitehall Township High School, private performances from the PHS Jazz Band and Strolling Strings, Front row tickets to any graduation ceremony in the future, as well as gift, spa, restaurant packages, and sports memorabilia, is going to close at 9 p.m. tonight. We invite everyone to participate in our online auction, which raises funds to support the Parkland Education Foundation grants and programs.
We want to thank you for joining us tonight to honor the past and bring hope to our future. We are so grateful to each and every one of you and appreciate you inspiring excellence in all of us. The stories of these distinguished alumni empowers our students and the entire community to go out and make our world a better place. Thank you for joining us tonight and helping us to continue to be Parkland Strong.